Good morning, America. It's clobbering time. So, week 8 is almost done, except for a Monday night game that's going to happen tonight. But he got serious yesterday for a couple of teams. Some responded and some didn't. Now, I made a couple of picks that didn't quite go the way that I thought. And you know what? I'll tell you what they were. And, this is for everybody. I want you to know something. When you do something wrong, when you do something and it goes wrong, well, the smart money or the smart thing to do would be to never do it again. But since we are talking about watching football, that's never going to happen. So let's do the next smart thing. Let's get up and bounce back. So I picked the Ravens to beat the Buccaneers, but then again, who didn't? And I won't go into that game because we already discussed that on Friday. But then I picked the Jacksonville Jaguars to win over Denver. The final score was the Broncos won 21-17. You see, Mr. Wolverine Blood, Russell Wilson, was back starting at quarterback. And it was because of that I thought the Jaguars had a chance. And in fact, they did. They were leading up until in the third quarter. And then Russell Wilson threw a 50-yard strike to a wide open receiver, and Denver went down the field and ended up taking the lead and win the game. So how did the Broncos win? Well, first of all, they were playing the Jacksonville Jaguars, and that gives you a head start on pretty much everything else that you want to do. Well, second of all, they got lucky. So we'll see what happens going forward, but the Broncos did win, and the Jaguars did lose. I am in the L column. Now, I picked the Atlanta Falcons to defeat the Carolina Panthers, and as I predicted, but it was a high-scoring game that went into overtime. Now, what is going on in here? What is going on in Carolina? If any of you have seen that movie, Cool Hand Luke, what we have here is a failure to communicate. You see, management is trying to lose. They got rid of the head coach. They got rid of their best receiver. They got rid of their best running back, Christian McCaffrey. They're trying to lose. But they're not communicating this very well to the team because the team keeps trying to win. I mean, they beat the Buccaneers last week, and this week they almost beat the Falcons. It was a close game. But what they need to do is they need to get this straightened out so they can decide which direction they want to go in, up or down. With this win, Atlanta now leads the division with a 4-4 record and look to be going places. I swear, guys, I swear, Marcus Mariota is looking like the real deal. The guy can, what is that thing they used to have, the punt, pass, and kick? Well, it looks like he can do all three. He can run, he can pass, and he might also just freaking kick the ball. Probably do a better job than their kicker. But he's accurate and he's fast. He can pinpoint the ball. He can throw it long. And again, I say the guy is fast when he's running. He might not be as fast as Michael Vick, but he's pretty darn close. So Atlanta looks like the real deal, and they look like they're getting better as the season goes on. Now, I picked the Chicago Bears to get whumped by the Dallas Cowboys, and they did. The score was 49-29. Now, after the Patriots after the Bears beat the Patriots last week, the Bears, for some odd reason, traded away one of their best players, Robert Quinn, and they got the desired result, a loss. Now, I don't know what message the Bears management is trying to communicate. Are they telling the team that we're not really fully invested in this year by dealing away what might be at least it's one of their better players on defense? It seems that way. But to me, this is more the same with the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears management cannot handle success. They always do the inexplicable. Whenever it seems like they can get close to grasping success, they do something stupid, which is what they did this week. Anyway, Dallas is back on track for the moment. I'm not completely sold on Dak Prescott. He still looks too happy in the feet when he's back there to pass. He still looks like he's too nervous. He's not relaxed. With that being said, they're tied with the Giants for second place in the division, and the toughest division of the league right now. So Dallas is back on track. Now, the Miami Dolphins, my Miami Dolphins, your Miami Dolphins, defeated the Detroit Lions, my Detroit Lions, and your Detroit Lions, America's Detroit Lions. And I keep thinking of a song made by the Supremes. Let me see if I can, recollect it. Nothing but heartache. Nothing but heartache. Well, yes. If you're a Detroit fan, there's nothing but heartache. Miami beat Detroit 31-27. But then again, who doesn't? To be honest, Detroit did put up a heck of a battle in this one. They led throughout the game until the end of the third quarter. Then two attacks, Miami quarterback, went downfield for a score that put them ahead, and Miami looked back. Now, Miami has won 2 in a row, and they are back in the playoff hunt. Oh, yes. I have to remind you again, I picked Miami to win, but then again, who doesn't? The Minnesota Vikings, who I had picked to lose, beat the Arizona Cardinals 34-26. Now, my rationale behind my pick was a thoroughly scientific one, supported by facts, backed up by science. And it's this. When the Vikings should win, they lose. And when they lose, they should win. So because they were slated to win this game, then they probably won't. Well, the Vikings proved me wrong. They won in convincing fashion. The Vikings are now 6-1, and they are in the catbird seat in the NFC Central with 10 games remaining. I don't know who's going to catch them. The Bears don't seem to want to be up there. And we'll get to Green Bay later. And definitely the Lions. They've only won 1 game. So things are looking pretty darn good for the Minnesota Vikings. And they haven't looked this good in a while. We'll see how long they can last. To me, even if they make the playoffs, I don't know how deep they'll go. But then again, I don't make the world go round. That being said, let's move on. The New Orleans Saints. Yes, the Saints. The good guys were playing the bad guys, the Las Vegas Raiders. The good guys Saints were playing the Las Vegas Raiders. And guess what? As I predicted, yes, I predicted, the Saints slammed the Las Vegas Raiders 24-0. That's right, sports fans, 24-0. Now, the game was close until the first quarter when Alvin Kamara scored the first of his 3 touchdowns for the Saints. And after that, it was off to the races. To be honest, the Raiders looked awful. And I know they spent a lot of money. But even with all that money spent, they only have 2 wins. And if I was a team that wanted to think about winning this year, I would be calling the Raiders right now, because there is no way that these guys, they're in the same division as the Kansas City Chiefs. No way, not the way they're playing, that they're going to sniff anything next to a playoff. So if they want to start saving money, it's time to start unloading contracts. They got Devontae Adams, they got Derek Carr. So there's a lot of people that they could be looking to ship out. Hint, hint, hint. Tampa Bay, you might want to call. Come on, Jason Light. You might want to call up the GM of Las Vegas. Hello. Anyway, I digress. Viva Las Vegas. Now, the New England Patriots with Mac Jones back under center defeated the New York Jets 22-17. Now, I picked the Jets to win, but it was just because they were on the roll. I had a feeling that the Jets had got a little bit fancy-dancy with their wins. I mean, they're a new team. Ryan, he barely played last year, and all of a sudden he's quarterbacking a team that's looking pretty good. He doesn't realize how hard it is. And Bill Belichick, his team is always going to give 100%. A Bill Belichick coach team will never give up. They will know their fundamentals. They will know their keys. They'll know who they're attacking. So on offense and defense. And I didn't think Robert Saleh could have the team up to it. But because they were playing at home, I took the Jets. And yes, I was wrong. So it happens. Now, we must remember this. The Patriots were in last place as they did this. So this is a last place team that's really giving 100%. And somehow, listen, you don't get that all the time. Now, the Mets got bounced and the Yankees got bounced. Since that, the New York City sports scene has hit a wall. And speaking of New York, since the Jets lost, the New York Football Giants played in Seattle against the Seahawks. And as I predicted, they lost 27-13. Now, I can hear it. Do we have some applause here? Let's get some applause here. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now, the fact is, it's a long trip from New York to Seattle. And the Giants are a very young team. This is the first year of winning. They've had like 3 really bad seasons of losing. So this is all new to them. And something like this, a long trip, it could affect them. And it did. And Geno Smith affected them too. Geno Smith, listen, he was drafted 9 years ago, 2013, I believe it was. And he was drafted by the Jets. I think the 39th pick, second round, drafted by the Jets. And he didn't do that well in the Jets. As a matter of fact, he did terrible. And then he bounced around. He ended up with the Giants at one. But anyway, Geno Smith threw for 2 touchdowns and he rushed for 25 more yards. Geno Smith is making Pete Carroll look like a genius. A genius. Who would have thunk? Like I said, he played with the Giants in 2017, and I think he was just a backup. He never had the success that he's having now. So kudos to you, Geno, and good luck going forward. This may be your year. Seattle, I think they're in the same division with the 49ers and the Rams, so it's going to be a tough road. But Seattle, with Geno Smith, is looking pretty darn good. So go, Geno. You've been around for 9 years, going on 10 years. I wish you all the success in the world. Now we move on to a painfully thing to talk about. The Pittsburgh Steelers. Yes, the Pittsburgh Steelers. They went up against the Philadelphia Eagles, as I predicted, and they were jackhammered by them. Jackhammered them into the ground. Since we're speaking of metal work and Steeler work. 35-13. 35-13. Ladies and gentlemen. If this was a Little League game, it would have been waved off after the third inning. Kenny Pickett, as I predicted, as any rookie quarterback, basically has no chance. To put him in there is anyway. Supposedly, Pittsburgh fans wanted this. They were screaming for Kenny Pickett, but I don't care. If you are any kind of coach, you don't put this kid until after the 10th game. I mean, it's the 17-game season now. So after the 10th game, when the season is officially over, maybe even after the 11th game, where the kid can't get hurt. Anyway, he had no touchdowns. He had 1 interception, and he was sacked 6 times. 6 times. Guys, I don't know about you, but that's just wrong. Now, the Steelers are 2-6, and they are right where they were last season, in the land of no hope. Let's see who they'll blame this year so that Mike Tomlin keeps his job, because the last couple of years have been abysmal. And just to throw a rookie quarterback up into this mix is ridiculous. Who's the GM there? I'm sure the GM conferred with Tomlin. Who thought it was a good idea to get Mitch Trubisky? But anyway, I digress. But I picked that one right. Philadelphia now owns the state of Pennsylvania. So get used to it, Pittsburgh fans, because it doesn't look like it's going to change anytime soon. The Tennessee Titans, as I predicted, defeated the Houston Texans 17-10, right? But then again, who doesn't? We're talking about the Houston Texans. They have one win the whole season. 17-10, a little bit closer than it should have been. But here's the deal. Ryan Tannehill was out. He suffered an ankle injury early in the game, and he was replaced by Malik Willis. As a result, the Titans were almost lucky to actually win because they were playing with a backup quarterback who was just inserted. But on the other side, the Texans are playing with a whole team of backups. So it balanced out. Like I said, the Texans are now 1-5, and they're tied with the Detroit Lions for the last place in the league for the worst record in the league. So they're battling for position for the number one pick in the draft next year. And they're right in there because they're 1-5 with the Lions, and it's going to be tense. It's going to see who can do this, who can get this job, who can lose. My money is on the Lions. My team, the Detroit Lions, home of whatever it is that they're home of. Well, no one's making songs out of there. I think Eminem was the last big name star. But anyway, Detroit, go Detroit. You know, if you're in this position, you can afford to win the game. But Detroit's trying. I mean, they've signed Jeff Goff. They have some big name players that they're paying money to. The Texans, they're not paying anybody. They don't care. They're trying to lose. The Detroit Lions actually were trying to win. So my heart goes out to the Lions. Now, the Washington Commanders defeated the Indianapolis Colts. And sports fans, I didn't even pick a winner in this one because I didn't think anybody cared. I darn sure didn't care. I said, flip a coin, and whichever one comes up heads or tails, pick that one. But the Commanders won. Yes, the Commanders won. They're at 4-4 now. They both are playing with backup quarterbacks. They both have looked abysmal. So did it really matter? Not really. The Philadelphia Eagles are leading that division 7-0. Then come the Cowboys and the Giants at 5-2. And we have the Commanders. Actually, they're not that far behind at 4-4. So it could be interesting in the NFC East. We'll see. Now, in a repeat of the NFC Championship game last season, the Los Angeles Rams hosted the San Francisco 49ers. And I took the home field advantage. And I didn't see this coming, the 49ers finally got a week to integrate Christian McCaffrey into their system. And the result was the 49ers body slammed the Rams. Well, since we're talking about the Rams, it would be like they bulldogged them. They grabbed them by the horns and they put them down and they wrapped their feet. Christian McCaffrey ran roughshod over the Los Angeles Rams, and the score was 31-14. McCaffrey accounted for a rushing touchdown, a receiving touchdown, and a passing touchdown. And he looked good doing all three. He looked great running, he looked great passing, and he looked great when he caught the ball. So, the 49ers vaulted to the top of the pack in the NFC West, it looks, in my opinion. They have the Seahawks, they have the Rams, and there's a fourth team, which I'm not going to look up because we don't want to waste time with that. We want to get on to the more pertinent things like bada boom. But the 49ers had a hiccup against the Chiefs. They didn't really get a chance to implement McCaffrey, and Mahomes just went off last week. But now, they look like the team to beat in the NFC West. The Rams, on the other hand, look like they have peaked, and the rest of the league is catching up to them. Now, in the game of the day, Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers shuffled off to Buffalo to play the Buffalo Bills. And they got drummed on Can we get a drum roll, please? No, how about this one? Well, neither one of that's a drum roll that I wanted, but still the ending is the same. The Bills drummed on the Green Bay Packers. It wasn't even close. It was 27-17. And the only thing surprising is that Buffalo didn't score 40 points. Aaron Rodgers threw for only 190 yards, but he did have 2 touchdowns and also an interception. Josh Allen had 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. It wasn't his best game. But the Green Bay fans, Green Bay, Wisconsin, your team is in a swoon. It has come to that. With a guy commanding 20% of the cap, you can't field much of a team out there. And they are on the downswing. And it's going to be ugly. If the Vikings win the division this year, which it looks like they will, I have a feeling that another team will rise up and win it next year. Green Bay won't be able to commit. They won't have the resources to commit to getting big name talent. They're going to have to work through the draft. And right now, they're not low enough to get the position. Who would they draft? Would they draft a quarterback? I'm not too sure. But I don't expect their swoon to end anytime soon. In other words, the fat lady is warming up her voice, and the fat guy, he's preparing his victory cigar. He's smelling it, and he's even licked it a little bit just to get the taste of victory. Buffalo, on the other hand, managed to escape without any injuries, and they look good. They still top the East at 6-1, and they're going to be the team to be reckoned with. Now, the game Monday night pits the Cincinnati Bengals against the Cleveland Browns, and I don't even think the Cleveland Browns fans are picking the Browns to win. Nope. I mean, they might be hoping they win. They might be, some of them might even be, lack of a better word, praying that they win. I don't know why. It's a football game. But Cincinnati, I mean, you know what? Stranger things have happened. And this is an inter-conference game, and it's an in-state game. It's a battle for Ohio. It's a battle for supremacy in the conference. Not that Cleveland is anywhere close to supremacy in the conference, but just the fact that they're playing each other twice brings bad blood. And that being said, the Browns will be up for this game. They will be up for this game. If no other game in the battle for Ohio, they will be up for it. But that's not going to stop me from picking Cincinnati to go in there and lay waste to Cleveland. And it should be a not even a close game. And that's that. And that will wrap up week 8. Now, if you counted, I was 8 wins and I was 4 losses. It's not bad. Not too bad. But here's the message, people. Don't bet. I mean, 8 wins and 4 losses. I mean, it's pretty good. But suppose you bet more on the 4 losses. You would lose. It's a crapshoot, everybody. So enjoy the games. Enjoy the games. Drink, eat, drink, and be merry. Plan out what you're going to do for the week. Enjoy your friends. Enjoy the camaraderie, which is what games bring. Passion, spirituality, and unity. It's the motto of the Major Great Sports Network. Passion, spirituality, and unity. Let the games bring you that. Let you enjoy sports. This is what sports is supposed to bring. But don't lose your house. Don't lose your car. And don't go into debt. I think Powerball's tonight for $1 billion. Tell you what, if you have any money left over that you didn't lose by betting when you shouldn't have bet, take $2 and play Powerball. You got a better chance of winning. Well, somewhat of a better chance. At least if you do win, you win big. And you won't have it's only $2, and you won't have some goon chasing you around saying that you owe him money, which can be very dangerous to your lifestyle and your life and your family. So that being said, listen, it's been fantastic. It is 7:25. Been on 25. Usually I'm only doing a 20-minute thing, but 25 because I wanted to talk about the the dangers of taking this too seriously when it comes to money. Leave that alone. Listen, everybody, I've had fun. I don't know about you, but I had fun. Good luck to the teams that won. Good luck to the teams that lost tonight. Cincinnati against Cleveland. We have some the 49ers look like a team. Of course, Buffalo still looks great. I don't know about those Vikings, but they keep surprising me. We'll see what happens. I'm not sold on Kirk Cousins. We'll see what goes on. Not that I want to disappoint any of you Minnesota fans. If you're a Kirk Cousins, I hope your team does well. That's all I can say. That being said, it is Clay Morris on the Amazing Grace Sports Network signing off NFL Week 8 review of what happened over the weekend and on Thursday, since it begins on Thursday, and Tampa Bay lost. And no more. I'm not going to say anything more about Tom Brady. He's having his own troubles that we can have, men, in marital situations. But good luck to him, and good luck to his family going forward, and especially the kids. With that being said, everyone, I will stop talking, and I will get out of here and let you begin your day. Clay Morris for the Amazing Grace Sports Network signing off, saying, have a good day. Have a good week. Take care of yourselves. You come first.